Happy Monday, everyone out there in the land of the PJCN. I hope you guys are well. It is March 22nd, 2021, and we are here for our 96th watch-along of the last year. 96! We are so close to the big 100, and tonight we're watching Wonder Woman, directed by Patty Jenkins. This is an executive producer pick by our illustrious and fantastic producer, Brandon Buck. And with me tonight is Maxwell and Brandon Buck. Hi, guys. You're muted. You're muted. Oh, no, Buck is muted. Everyone's muted but me. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Good.
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
How are you guys?
I'm doing
Exhausted,
pretty good. How are you doing?
I love this movie. So.
Hey, man, I'm good. It's been a little bit of a long week already, and we're just getting started on this Monday, but, you know, I'm excited, man. I like this movie. I'm excited to revisit it. And especially, like, coming off of watching Zack Snyder's Justice League and, like, my kind of renewed love for everything that is, like, the DCEU, I'm kind of excited to revisit this, like, right after.
Yeah,
but
I think it's ideal timing.
I think so, too. But, you know, speaking of ideal timing, do we have anything ideally coming up this week?
We do. Hey, Brandy, sorry you're tired. Sleep well, get some rest.
Good night, Brandy.
Yeah, so it's an interesting week. It's a light week in some ways and a heavy week in other ways. Because on Wednesday is our giant 1-year PJCN celebration party. And not only are there going to be appearances from essentially everyone who you could see featured on this thumbnail, and those whose face you can only half see because they're covered by a balloon. But we have put together an incredible array of special guests who will be joining us to reminisce, to take a trip down memory lane, to say really nice things to each other. I think there will be jokes. I'm sure there will be alcohol. So that'll be 7 o'clock Pacific on Wednesday. And it could go a while, so strap in. It's going to be the best party of the week. I know I said that there was going to be a Front Center Mez this week. There is not. Unfortunately, our guest had to cancel due to a situation with his son's school. Everything's okay. I promise we will get Lance Rubin on the show at some point. However, PJ and I are going to go live on Thursday because on Thursday, PJ and I are getting to see an early digital screening of a little movie coming out about a giant...
It is
lizard creature fighting a giant monkey creature.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Team Kong all the way.
So, probably around 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, maybe a little bit after that. PJ and I are going to hop on and do a spoiler-free live review of Godzilla vs. Kong. So that's going to be pretty awesome.
I'm so excited.
You know, considering I'm upset we couldn't do Front Center Mez, I'm glad that we get to do this instead. Friday, there will be a watch-along. We don't know what it is yet, and we don't know who's going to be there yet, but stay tuned for that. Of course, Saturdays are our water cooler chat, where we talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Episode 2 drops on Friday, and we will break it all down. Looking back, if you missed last night's Unwind, wherein we talked about Zack Snyder's Justice League, I really think it's worth going back and watching. I think it was really great conversation about the film. And also, we're joined by some fantastic guests. Andres Gallego, who is a DC expert, but best of all, Marisol McKee made her PJCN debut. And she is passionate and she is intelligent and she had such great things to say about the Snyder Cut of Justice League. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, please do. A couple other little notes. I'm sure you've all seen it, but if you haven't, the newest episode of Box Presents Drunk is out. It's a blast. And our $5 and up patrons got Bloop Bloop, which is bloopers and extended scenes that aren't seen in Box. So if you aren't already a $5 and up patron and you would like to either join or switch your pledge so you could see Bloop Bloop, I think it's worthwhile, but that's...
I mean, I do too. I gotta be honest.
For you to decide. 2 other things. Book Nook 3 is coming April 13th. This is a mashup with Danny Ramirez's show, Watch the Book. So Dwayne and myself and Danny will be talking about the book Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. It is legitimately, in my opinion, one of the single greatest novels of all time. It won the Nobel Prize, so I am not alone in that assertion. And I also think the film, directed by Mark Romanek, is incredible. So we're going to talk about the book, we're going to talk about the movie, we're going to compare and contrast. It's going to be an incredible conversation. That'll be Tuesday, April 13th. Pretty much from now on until then, I'm going to keep mentioning it so you have ample time to get a copy and read the book and watch the film. And as opposed to the last Book Nook book, Children of Blood and Bone, which was 550 pages, Never Let Me Go is quite a bit shorter. So you don't need as much time to read it. One little personal note, Jilly and I do a show on Stereo called Jilly and Max Present. We're doing episode 2 tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific on Stereo. Check my or Jill's Twitter for the link, and I will be retweeting it tomorrow, of course. And we got so many voice memos last time, so if you guys kick it with us and send in voice memos, we will answer anything you have to say. We will talk about whatever you want us to talk about if we're legally allowed to talk about it. If I'm not sure, I'll consult my lawyer, but it's going to be a blast. And finally, I keep mentioning patrons. Patron this, patron that. We have a Patreon. We could not do any of this without our patrons. So an incredible thank you to our executive producers, Brandy Parker, Brandon Buckingham, who's in the fucking house, Ricardo Franco, our gold producer, Sean Wingblade, and all of our producers, Mike K. Stephen White, the youth critic, Bador, Jake Berlin, Anton Pucher, Tyler Birch, Patricia Carrilla, Chris Pocono, Shira Potato, Molly Damon, Beth Harris, Ferris Mathon, and Jeff Alterman, who is Buck's co-host.
Is there any side effects with that? Because that's what it reminded me of, is the side effects things when you hear
side effects may include giving us your money in exchange for saying, hey, I like your content.
No. I love your content.
Oh, thanks, Buck.
Buck is the best.
You are great, Buck. So before we get started, why'd you pick this movie? I always love that when it's your turn to pick a movie, you join us on the panel, and I always like to say, like, why this movie? What is it about Wonder Woman?
For me personally, it's the best movie directed by a female, for me. And also, it's my favorite DC EU film. So I figured, why not? I wanted to watch A League of Their Own, but it wasn't directed by... Or, no, I wanted to, but it wasn't on a streaming service that you didn't have to pay extra for. So I was like, darn it. Like, that's the one I really wanted. But I was being nice and picked a streaming service we could all watch that.
We're going to be doing that before the month is out anyways.
Yay! Sweet.
So, don't worry. Yeah, I mentioned to PJ before we went live that I have some hot takes about this movie. And the biggest hot take is I love the MCU, but I think Wonder Woman is better than any movie in the MCU. Shall we watch it?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do this.
If you've never been here before, welcome to a PJCN Watchalong where we watch a movie together and us knuckleheads make jokes and commentate it and talk about the filmmaking and whatever. If you are a repeat offender, thank you. And as Buck said, this movie is available on HBO Max to stream. So my good friend PJ over here is going to count down. He'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And upon saying the word play, we will press play and play the movie. Sorry, I get $1 every time I say play, so just trying to get them all in there. So, PJ, whenever you want to play this movie, just say, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play, and then we'll play it, and then we'll watch Wonder Woman play with her lasso, and there'll be all sorts of playing.
Perfect.
The soundtrack will play Rupert Gregson-Williams' remarkable score, all sorts of good stuff. So,
well,
PJ,
let's do this then.
Capable hands.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Dipper was unusually quiet for the countdown tonight.
That's the second time. So I was in Target yesterday, and this is kind of coincidental, but I happened to pick this up.
Nice.
Ooh, in her gold armor.
I like that.
Which is really cool. Yeah. I like Wonder Woman 84. I know there's a lot of hot takes on it. I really enjoyed it. Not as much as this one, but I especially love her gold armor. I think it's such a great look.
I think I only watched it once, and that was the day that it dropped. So once it's on 4K Blu-ray, I will purchase it. Because
I have the 4K Steelbook pre-ordered, and it ships on the 30th.
I've said it before. I quite like 84. I know that it had a very muted reception, but I freaking love that movie.
I think it's just fun and cheesy and 80s in all the right way. Anyways.
I won't lie, the first time I was watching this, I was like, is this like the Universal logo? Like, we're looking at the world? And...
This is not a Universal movie.
And then I see this, and immediately I start thinking of the freaking Da Vinci Code.
A little bit, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the Louvre, and those pyramids are so iconic.
Right.
Wayne Enterprises.
I'm actually not even sure if I actually... Oh, no, I did know that from before. Obviously, because they give her information. But I don't think I ever realized the truck actually said it until now.
Wayne Enterprises?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so beautiful.
She really is.
She really is. And she's become a better and better actress, like, legitimately with everything she's done. And it drives me crazy when people talk badly about her and say she's only good for her looks. I'm like, no, she's a really good actress on top of it.
So last week
I think she's perfect as Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Last week I watched Fast and Furious. Oh, boy. She's not very good actress.
She gets better, but it looks like we're joined by someone named Chris Clark.
Hey guys. Sorry I'm late. What's the time code? I will get this up really quickly.
It literally just started.
2 minutes and 30 seconds. 2:31. 2:32. 2:33. We just started.
Cool. That's awesome. This recently at a drive-in. I don't remember much of it, but I remember liking it a lot. So I'm interested to watch it again. Audible.
Well, now,
how you guys
Chris,
doing?
I'm doing well, my friend. I need to ask how you're doing, though, because I know that we're just about a week away from the movie event of a lifetime for you.
Oh, I'm stressed. It's great. You better win. The unwind that weekend is going to be insane, because I'm assuming we're just going to go into spoilers about Kong vs. Godzilla, and it's going to be great. So
that's looking very much like the plan, my friend.
Yeah.
I love that.
The Amazonians are so fucking cool in this.
Look, she's riding on the horse and just leans down and grabs the shield. What the hell?
And backflipping off and shit. Like, it's so cool.
You totally wouldn't break your back.
I love the world of Themyscira that Patty built here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, are you going to scream tonight? Reefism would like to know.
I don't think there's anything scary in this film, unless you're talking about No Man's Land, but I don't think there's anything too frightening. I could be wrong, though.
She tries to hit her in the back.
We'll get to that scene, but I think I can make a compelling argument that the No Man's Land scene is the single greatest scene ever in a superhero movie.
And we almost didn't get it. Which is just...
Oh, look! It's
my buddy.
I was going to say better half, and then I was going to say lesser half, and then I just went with, it's Jeff.
Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
What's up, quiz show?
My name's Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
I love those movies so much, man.
It's great we got this adaptation of Themyscira, because the only other adaptation we got was the phenomenal adaptation in Justice League, the animated series.
And hot off the Snyder cut, I thought the whole expanded scene there was really great.
Yeah.
The version we got in the theater cut was like half as long.
Yeah. The entire DC universe is great. I just wish there was a proper kind of format like Marvel did, but you know what? It's still fucking awesome story.
I don't even care at this point. I'm just having fun with it, you know?
Yeah. As long as I like the movies, I'm happy.
Why is she the only child on the island?
How are your WandaVision like? Where are all the children? Wanda, there's no children.
You know why there's no children? Because there's no men.
Nope. No way.
Aren't they all gods and like Orin, like the king of the
The answer to this question, Mr. Belford, is yes. I am an FCL competitor, and I am on your screen. And I just want to say, over at the Let's Get Ready Network, they're starting a brand new show devoted to the FCL, the FCL. And PLD will be their inaugural guest tomorrow. So you might want to check that out.
because POD is writing it, I think.
He's
He's the
head
executive
writer.
producer.
He is the PJ of the FCL.
Correct.
Yeah.
Me and Jeff just had him on our channel right before this.
I saw that. It was for Schmo Me the Money.
Yeah, we had some questions. We got some groundbreaking news, but there was still some stuff that he couldn't tell us. But
yeah,
you just gotta try.
I can't tell you guys just how hyped I am to see the FCL and get to watch matches that I had nothing to do with writing.
You're like, I could just watch and be stress free. It'll be great.
Like literally anything that happens has nothing to do with me. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
A week
that's a
from
great
tomorrow.
point.
This whole scene, by the way, where they're telling the history is so dope. Like that art in the
Yeah, I love the art in this.
I think the aesthetic of that art is one of the like this visuals is some of the most Snyder inspired stuff in this movie.
right.
It feels very much like his aesthetic, which I think works.
Mm-hmm. And it feels like ancient Rome,
Mhm.
or that kind of aesthetic, kind of.
Yeah, which he had previously obviously handled with 300.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some similarities, especially with the slow-mo of it, like, and the visual movements and stuff. It's just so fucking cool, and I'm always pretty blown away by how it looks.
It's very biblical. If that
Yeah,
makes
especially
any
this,
sense. Yeah.
the part with Ares right here.
Yeah.
Is just like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
And we to a certain extent see some of this type of stuff in the Snyder Cut again.
Which was, dude, okay. I can't get over how much of the stuff in the, like, history of the Snyder Cut was just them, like, putting Steppenwolf over Darkseid. That whole, like, battle sequence in the past was remarkable against Darkseid. I love that movie so goddamn much. Like, I can't get over how much I love that movie.
It felt
I'm
like,
just
honestly,
glad-
an expanded episode of the Justice League animated series, and I loved it. Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it. It didn't feel like a movie. It felt more like a... It's hard to explain. Yeah. It was really
I just
fascinating
wish
what they
we got
explained.
it in 2017 and see what would have happened to the DC.
There was no way to release that in theaters, but I feel like
I don't
that's
necessarily
another
disagree,
movie.
though. I would have liked to see...
I feel like there's a good 3-hour movie though in there. Like
Yeah.
if they could have cut it down to 3, I think it still would have been just as good.
I don't disagree.
Oh yeah.
That's the prettiest work print of a movie I've ever seen, but goddamn am I glad I got to see it.
Yeah,
One piece
and
of-
I'm excited to see the black and white version too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be very exciting to watch.
Black and white versions are always super cool if they're done
Especially the
correctly.
Mist. Especially the Mist.
And Logan.
Logan is the other one, I agree.
I've never seen the Logan black and white version, but I'm assuming it just to add more atmosphere. Is there any new cuts
Yeah.
to it?
No, it's just new
Okay, it just adds
atmosphere.
the color. Okay.
Logan Noir.
Okay.
Taught in theater at the Draft House with special Q&A.
Yeah, I saw it at the Egyptian with that Q&A.
Ooh, see that in IMAX? See the Snyder Cut in IMAX would be dope.
I think that it's still going to get an IMAX release down the line.
Yeah.
I do
The
too.
only problem would be just figuring out theater showings for it.
Well, with the world starting to look better, as Buck and I can safely say now, thankfully Arizona is going to start letting anyone over the age of 16 get vaxxed starting Wednesday. So,
Dude, I was so
Awesome.
excited when I saw that this morning. I'm like, yes, I can. Thank you.
yep, dude, you and me both. I was just like, I could cry. I was so excited.
Because my mom got her first shot about a week and a half ago because she's over 55. So
My parents too. So you're not alone in that.
So. Oh,
But we're finally up, Buck. It's
trouble.
our chance.
It's our time now. There he is.
Oh, we got a PLD in the chat.
Oh my God! Look at that guy. What's up, PLB?
We're totally not talking about you like 10 minutes ago.
No, we really weren't.
I think his ears were burning. I think Ed Harris has been watching and like reached out personally to PLD and was like, "These motherfuckers are talking
I
about."
think if PLD actually got to meet Ed Harris, his heart would stop.
Yeah, I think he might actually spontaneously combust. I'm not gonna lie. Connie Nielsen and Robin Wright, man. Like,
They are so phenomenal.
they really are, and this whole sequence with them is so great. And they both want such different things for her.
Yeah.
Such great casting too.
Yeah.
That is one thing Zack Snyder has just excelled so well on, is his casting and everything, for me.
Well, and I'm sure that Patty had some involvement too with some of the casting, since so much of it was also going to be used by her.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Paul did meet our boy Ed Harris, apparently. He said, I actually got to meet him briefly outside of To Kill a Mockingbird. I got an autograph and literally couldn't say a word. I think I said, hi, you're awesome.
Well, I mean, that works.
Yeah.
I met, a bunch of actors at stage doors and Broadway shows. No. Sorry about that.
Hi, Luna.
And the only one who I was remotely about was when I met Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. I was like, oh, I don't know.
I don't know if there's any person I could meet that would do that for me.
Michael J. Fox for me.
Whoa.
That look on her face when she looks down is so good.
She's like, oh, look what I can do. It's crazy that it took all the way until 2017 to get her for the first Wonder Woman movie.
She was actually tied up with a lot of rights issues with DC after the TV series with Lucy Lawless.
Yeah. But now she's appeared in 4 movies, so
yeah, she was even a tough get for even the animated series. It's something about her and like her property is sort of like Pokemon and Nintendo, where the DC doesn't have her, but it's just a weird kind of rights thing that they had.
yeah.
I think Marvel's that way with Daredevil and Hulk, I think, right? They don't 100% own either of those. Because I know Hulk can't have
Hulk, so Universal still has the solo film rights to Hulk. So if if Marvel Studios wanted to do a movie with Hulk in the title, they would have to have Universal involved, which was the case with The Incredible Hulk.
This shot right here also of Steve's plane coming through as she's watching is so dope. Yep. And it's so it's so like mystical, and the first time I saw it,
blue that water is.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It makes me
I would dive in that water.
Like the plane just did.
I love the way the camera sort of spins around her and then she dives in to go save him.
Oh, it's so dope.
And the music, the score is fantastic.
And of course, Chris Pine is freaking fantastic in this film as well.
Oh, he's great in this movie.
Their chemistry is insane.
I agree.
That shot of him seeing her through the water.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with Wonder Woman 3.
Yeah, me too.
Part of me feels like it'll be present day.
That's my gut feeling too. I think it's supposed to be post Justice League would be my guess.
Yeah.
Question is, how much do they rewrite to make the Snyder Cut canon?
They're not. They're not considering
Oh.
Snyder Cut canon. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what's weird is James Wan and Patty Jenkins said that they were following Zack Snyder's Justice League, but Warner's has said that 2017 is canon.
Well,
I don't really think there's anything so substantial that would affect the Aquaman franchise or the Wonder Woman franchise.
Yeah.
Between the two Justice Leagues, it's more if they decide to do more with Batfleck or Cavill's Superman.
Yeah. Darkseid doesn't really affect either of the other two.
And I saw Kale say he's like, I don't think people would have liked the Whedon version of Wonder Woman, and I don't necessarily disagree. I don't love that script, because that was one of the scripts that very early on in my days of like script tracking and stuff that I wanted to get my hands on, and I didn't love it. And that's not a like, hey, I'm so cool, I don't like Whedon now sort of thing, because he's a garbage human being, as we continue to say. But I can't say that because I still like Firefly and Buffy and Angel. Like, that stuff means something to me. So this isn't me trying to be like, I'm hip and cool for not liking it. I just didn't like the script. I just thought it was not good.
Yeah. So Refast, who are Wonder Woman's, I mean, they've used a lot of them. Ares, Cheetah, and Maxwell Lord are some of the biggest villains, but maybe
also Hades is her father.
The biggest one they haven't used yet is Circa.
Yeah.
There's Dr. Psycho.
And also Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This whole thing is so badass.
Dude, yeah, I love this sequence.
But also, like, very tragic. But I love seeing the Amazonians getting to go to war.
Look at this!
Yeah.
Oh, this is so dope.
It's so cool, man.
And obviously Patty, is inspired by Snyder's speed ramping.
Right.
But it's incredibly good. Ooh.
And the look on Wonder Woman's face in that moment, and Diana's face, is just so, like, because they've never seen firepower like this.
No.
Right. You don't bring a sword to a gunfight.
Yeah. The way she tosses that one of them up in the air is
that is
so
such
awesome.
A cool shot, and then she throws the two swords.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
I'll never forget the first time my mom watched this movie, and she texted me when it was over, and just goes, "That movie was so badass," and I was like, "I know, right?"
My mom would never watch a movie like this.
My mom loved Wonder Woman growing up, especially the TV version, obviously. So she rightfully lost her mind watching 84. She loves 84 because it reminds her of the TV show so much.
Again, it's not bad. It's just not as good as this.
Well, it's different. Like they're totally different movies. Patty was so insistent on making a movie based off the TV show. This is not. This is, this one is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, I love this. I love this right here.
This movie very much has like a pulp adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. She jumps off the shield and then in slow motion and shooting her arrows. Boom. I don't think Robin Wright has ever looked cooler.
No.
Robin Wright is a badass in this.
Oh, look.
Hey, Shawnee.
It's a Sully.
It's a Sullivan Shawn.
Excuse me.
Man, Robin Wright, so good.
Yes.
I just love her so much, man.
I can't tell you that.
So much gold.
You're not wrong, PLD. He said, I've never seen a Robin Wright performance where I haven't said exactly that. You're not wrong. I will say, I think the only thing that disappointed me the most about Glass is that she did not come back for it. Like, I loved that we finally got a sequel to Unbreakable, and I would have loved to see her come back.
Interesting. Chris Pine is the best.
What was interesting?
What you said?
Oh, thanks, man. Oh no, I didn't know. I didn't know if you were like looking at something and saw something and said interesting. That's why I was asking. He's so good in this moment.
He's so good.
And the way he screams it like he's almost in pain because he clearly doesn't want to.
Yep.
He tries to resist so tough.
Yeah.
But he couldn't.
Dr. Poison. Oh,
that's
Danny
crazy.
Houston. Her look with the mask on her face is so cool and also kind of scary.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of a monster movie type feel.
It feels like
Phantom of the Opera. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree, Mike. This movie has a pulp feel in the best way, like Rocketeer, Indiana Jones, The Phantom, that sort of thing.
The Shadow.
I've seen the pilot. You know who's in it? Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
The pilot's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that didn't end up going to series, let me tell you.
They took a lot from, like, I don't know, guys, in that Justice League the Animated Series, where they went back in time to World War II, and they met Steve with Wonder Woman. There's a lot of that kind of. I feel like they took some inspiration from that story too in here.
I don't disagree.
And it's a great. If you've never seen it, it's a great fucking like 3-parter. It's great.
Do we think they find a way to bring Chris Pine back again for Wonder Woman 3?
No, I don't think they're going to go for a hat trick. They could try, but I think that she, like, very much says goodbye to him at the end of the second one. Mm-hmm. However, if they tried to, they could be bold and have Diana die at one point, and if she goes to the afterlife and she sees him or something...
Or he could play his grandson.
Or,
that's what I was going to say, like a grandson or a great-grandson.
I'll say this. I wouldn't be surprised to see Chris Pine in the movie. I don't think he'll be playing Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless, like I said, they decide to really go kind of nuts with, like, a real Olympian god sort of thing, and maybe we even see the afterlife.
Good.
And then he has to say it's not her time, essentially, and, like, lets her go.
Anything is possible.
Yeah. Things I think about.
It is not their war.
Mm-hmm. This whole battle, this whole verbal spar between her and her mother on the situation is so good. And, like, Diana being like, we owe it to them. Like, this is our duty to do this. Like, come on. It's just... It's kind of awesome because... you really feel Diana in this moment deciding to be the hero, and, like, there's almost cowardice in not being involved.
I agree.
The little smile on his face as he's in the water.
I love the shot of him in this pool.
Yeah. He's like a child. It's so hilarious.
Yeah, I concur.
I just really want Chris Pine to do more comedy because he's so gifted at comedy.
Yes.
I think that's one of the best parts about the newer Star Trek movies is the way that he can be so serious but also drop really great comedic moments. In, like, his timing is impeccable.
He is also how do I put this?
Sexy as fuck?
No, that's, I mean, you could not have, like,
right on the dot.
Verbatim what I would have said.
I mean, look at him, man.
I'm looking, believe me. I'm looking. You know who else is looking? Chris is definitely looking.
Oh, Chris Pine? Yeah, he's hot for. What you mean?
Oh, Chris.
That pool looks really, really comfy.
Every time I watch this movie, I want to just dive in to this pool.
I also desperately want to see Brad Pitt and Chris Pine work together. I don't know why, but I think that they have very similar chemistry. And I think it could be very interesting.
And they both have available Pitt and Pine.
That's true. Kale, he was very good in Spider-Verse as Peter Parker. You're not wrong.
I forgot he was Peter Parker. Yeah.
First time I saw that, I spent half the movie. I'm like, who is it? Like it was bothering me. I know that voice. I know, and it was bothering me. And I see the credits. I'm like, hey, yes, Chris Pine. That's what it was. It was on the. It was driving me nuts the first time I watched it.
Yeah. Brad Pitt, Chris Pine leading the next Tarantino film. There you go.
I think Chris Pine would work great with Tarantino.
I think so too. I mean, we've seen him work with guys like Carnahan, and he's excellent in those hands too. So I'd love to see what Tarantino could do with him.
I do believe you're talking about Smokin' Aces.
And Stretch?
Yeah, no one talks about Stretch.
I still talk about Stretch. Someone has to. I bought it on Blu-ray yesterday. Very excited to have it now.
Is there a movie that you don't own, PJ?
Oh, there's plenty of movies I don't own.
Yeah, I know, because it's not possible to own every movie ever made.
And look, I mean, I don't necessarily need to have Ang Lee's Hulk. I could get it. It'd be good to have it as a completionist thing, but similarly, I also don't have to own Elektra.
Oh boy. Why?
But you do.
No, I don't. I do not own Elektra, surprisingly.
Ah, well, some discretion is
You've
nice.
got to have like a spreadsheet or something of all the movies you own, right?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I have a whole list. Buck, I'll send it to you. I have it, like, literally a whole list.
Is it more than 4 digits on how many you own?
Yes.
Wow.
More than 4 digits?
Or, no.
No.
Sorry, I'm also... 2,000 would be 4 digits?
More than 4 digits would be 5 digits, which means
sorry.
more than 10,000, more than
I heard that wrong.
9,999.
No. So, it is in the 4
I guess
digits.
I should have phrased, is it at least 4 digits?
Yes, that's
Wow.
that's how I was interpreting what you said anyway. It is at least 4 digits.
Wow.
You might be surprised to find out that I actually own more Blu-rays than PJ.
That was still so utterly bizarre.
You just can't see them.
Yeah. You and I are in a pretty tight-knit race, though. That's the beauty of our collecting skills.
That must have hurt her feelings.
What
How can
up,
we
Saul?
help you on this fine evening, Saul?
Love you, man.
This dude's awesome. I own because of you.
PJ, he learned it from watching you.
I'm so sorry, Saul. I am. I mean, it doesn't mean I don't have to watch it. I just don't own it, Saul. I still have to watch it, just like the rest of you, so I can write about the goddamn thing.
That's true. That is true.
Kale, all right. I'm not going to lie to you. We've considered it. I would love to try to do something like that. It's just there's, like, a couple people doing very similar shows, so we'd have to find a way to be different, and I don't know how to do it yet.
PJ and I, look, let's just be honest. We've discussed it. We have the utmost respect for Dan Murrell, and we don't want to rip off all my movies.
Yeah.
So
I like Dan Murrell too much to do that.
Dude, I love her outfit.
Me too. You know what else I like? I like her face. And I like Chris Pine's face and body. Like, this movie is a pansexual extreme.
Oh shit! That fucking almost got me.
Really?
It wasn't quite a scream, but I'll take it.
Almost it. Can you guys ride horses?
Yes.
No, and I don't like horses. I'm not a fan.
They seem like they're really hard. Oh, yeah. You still have that from what, 4 months ago?
The only reason is because I got kicked in the stomach by a horse when I was very young.
Oh man!
And
when I was younger, I owned a horse.
I've never been on a horse.
Oh, dude, Saul and PLD are like going at it in the chat right now.
Yeah, it's really funny actually.
Don't make me turn this car around, you two. The cinematography in this movie is really, really fantastic. Like, just something about it. Even the scenes like this, there's a real fantasy adventure feel.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's like very pulpy, and the camera just captures it in the right way. I can't really explain it. But when you watch stuff like Raiders and you watch stuff like this or The Shadow, like there's a very specific feel that it is, and yeah.
Oh, King Kong vs. Godzilla is going on in the chat right now.
Similarly to PLD right now, also, I would be very curious to hear Saul's top worst IG films, the top 10 worst. Because there's some real bad movies in there.
I know what I would probably say the worst IG film is.
What was yours?
Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
Hard to argue that.
I forgot that's in.
You think that's worse than Catwoman?
Spet said R.I.P.D.
That's pretty bad.
But at least it has Jeff Bridges to kind of make it feel like it's good.
Yeah, R.I.P.D. is pretty horrible.
Jonah Hex is really terrible too.
Why do I have a feeling we're gonna get some freaking 2, 3, and 5 points from these movies soon? If this happens in like a month, I'll just die laughing so much.
Though
I love this shot of the ship, and the moonlight is the only thing illuminating the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, to Buck's point, I never try to like make it super obvious what we're doing and what we're talking about, and like it ends up in the matches. You know, but sometimes the stuff we talk about happens to come up.
Oh, I think that's probably why Saul's here in the chat.
No, Saul comes around sometimes, man. Saul's not just here to use us. That would just be rude. Chris, you can't just assume that everyone's trying to use our channel. Like, I know we're cool, but we're not that cool, all right?
I think we're that cool.
To need to be used? I don't know. Maybe we are that cool. I think Saul actually wants to be here, though.
I sort of love their, like, banter and chemistry that they have. It's very...
natural.
Almost like Romancing the Stone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great movie.
I also think that new one that they're doing with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum is going to be pretty fantastic. And Daniel Radcliffe just joined it as the villain.
Harry Potter.
It's one of my favorite
Harry Potter
adventure films.
Romancing the Stone.
Yeah, with Douglas and DeVito. That was
yeah.
Again, future for hopefully category at some point.
Danny DeVito really should be a slice.
Yeah, he really should.
Things to think about.
Chris, what's the sequel to Romancing the Stone called?
Oh my god, I know this. Oh my god, I know it. Wait, I do. 5, 4, 3. Kill a bird
2.
with one stone. I don't know. What is it?
Kill a bird. What? So that's up there with Carol and DeMarco go to White Castle.
It's Jewel of the Nile.
Okay, Jewel of the Nile.
This is why Maxwell will be the first belt holder in the FCO.
PLD, I have the same thought about John Candy for next season as well. There's another slice that I actually really want to do.
Look, you guys have been paying attention. You've seen the announcements. The FCL is stacked. So, we'll see what happens. Stacked.
I think the one that I got most excited for last night, Robert and Vanessa last night, I was so stoked. I love those two.
Late to the party.
I love Late to the Party. Those guys rock.
Yeah, I should have used my JT rule gen. I still wouldn't have gotten it. I'm terrible with retaining knowledge. I forgot most of this movie, even though I saw like 2 months ago. 5 months ago.
You don't even remember when you saw it.
I saw it at a drive-in. I just don't remember when, yeah. I don't retain knowledge.
Unless it's Meatloaf related.
Unless there were certain things, yeah. That looks like a comfy boat.
It does look like a comfy boat, Chris.
I love this. I love where he's like, where I'm come from, not considered average.
There's no place in the world that Chris Pine would ever be considered average.
I like how they mixed her to a comic book.
And his response,
origins.
well, that's neat. How do you respond to that?
Neat.
How do you respond to that?
Reproductive biology.
Mm-hmm. Also, Matt, I know a lot of Alex Damon level knowledge about the Hutts.
If there was ever a
crazy.
Star Wars, if there was
Crazy.
ever a Star Wars match wherein all questions
We're Hut related.
were related to the Hutt family,
And you could use... yeah.
nobody is beating Chris Clark on that.
No one. Maybe we should do a Hut only trivia just for Chris, and we'll do like an Iron Man Hut trivia match.
I'd like to... I
I have a question though. Like, how many? Would there on the wheel would like yurt be a category or tent, or are we like specifically just talking about huts?
You would probably go each crime family, Dazilic, Basilic, Gordula and her clan, maybe Zero and his clan, but also you have Grappa with the... Okay, we're not going to get into this. I'm so sorry.
No, please keep going. I'm stoked.
He also completely missed
wow.
my joke.
Oh.
Yes, he did.
Whoops.
Hey.
Danny Houston's great, but I also really like his son, Jack Houston,
Yeah.
who is really effective on Boardwalk Empire.
With Steve Buscemi.
Correct.
It's so funny that he is in arguably one of the greatest superhero films of all time, and literally also one of the worst superhero movies of all time.
Yeah.
Well, he got lead in his face.
And one is DC and one is Marvel.
Yeah.
He's also in another good graphic novel-based movie.
Oh, I definitely remember this. And I can't pull it right now.
I'm not going to tell you. You're the question writer.
Rude.
He writes question. That doesn't necessarily mean he knows everything.
Is Mystery Men based on a graphic novel or is that original?
It's a comic.
Oh, okay. That means...
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, 30 Days of Night. Forgot he was in Wrath of the Titans.
As who?
Yes, you're right. Jack Houston is his nephew, not his son. That was my bad.
I'm not sure. He's in both of them though. So I think he might be Poseidon in those.
But you know who Jack Houston's aunt is?
No, I do not.
Angelica Houston.
Oh, that makes sense. Dude, Danny Houston, like, just looking at all the stuff he did, he's a really fantastic character actor, and he's kind of everywhere. Do you know what his very first credit was, movie-wise? It came out in 1995.
Who?
And stars Nicolas Cage.
The Rock?
Incorrect.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Correct. He was bartender number 2.
So, I think this movie has a fantastic ensemble. I love Saeed Tagmaoui. I love Ewan Bremer. I love Lucy Davis. And the only problem with how this franchise is constructed, where because she doesn't age, every movie has been a different time. They can't really bring back the supporting cast.
Ewan is one of my favorites in this, just because I'm also such a big fan of Trainspotting. And so seeing him in something like this is so fun.
I think Lucy Davis is my favorite in this.
She's really good in this too, and of course she's been great since people have seen her in like Shaun of the Dead. She's just so fantastic.
Yeah, and Studio 60.
In Studio 60.
But
hey, what's up, Franco?
They can't get her back is. I love how her like doe-eyed and innocent she is, and she wants to explore like all the stuff that she doesn't have on her island.
The score is just so fun right here too.
Mm-hmm.
Very playful.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. I love watching Diana's face in this moment because
she's true, Saul. This is true.
Yes, that's true. I love the British Office.
Great.
It's so good.
It only lasted a couple seasons, right?
Intentionally, they just
made intentionally. Okay.
Yeah.
12 episodes and then the Christmas special.
I still love that show. Ricky Gervais is. I used to love that dude, and now I can not stand him. Oh, but I love watching Diana trying to wrap her head around Lucy Davis's character. She's just so taken aback because she's never met anyone like this in her life, and just the look on her face every time she talks, and she's like, how do I keep up? I don't understand.
That is not the look for Diana.
No.
How can a woman that's so good?
the fisticuffs.
Oh.
Good. Whatever.
Oh, he looks sharp.
He's got a real Clark Kent vibe in that moment, actually. And
now we're talking.
It feels very intentional, considering one of the scenes that comes up here. But like, he's got a very Clark Kent in Superman the movie feel.
I love his fedora because I love fedoras.
Yeah. her wearing glasses. She's just very, very cute. Walking out with the sword and the shield.
So
Just everything
so
about
funny.
her trying to go through the door is just the best. Please put the sword down, Diana. It doesn't go with the outfit. I love Lucy Davis, man. She is so funny. I just love the set design here too, and just everything about the way that these scenes were done.
I
Is this supposed
agree.
to be London?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but just the way that they designed it to feel like the turn of the century version and stuff is just so good.
Not dissimilar from the aesthetic in Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes flicks.
Yeah. That's part of the reason I like those movies so much, man, is just I love how they feel. That old London feel is so great. And I think that's why I'm partial to Shanghai Nights as well, over Shanghai Noon.
Shanghai Nights.
It slaps so hard, dude.
It really does. And Cheviach.
This scene is so great.
The bad guy convention. What a bad joke. I love it.
Yeah. That look on his face, realizing he could have just died and Diana saved him.
And then the score kicks in.
Yeah. I actually really love the
show
score
off what
right
she can
here. Like, I love the Wonder Woman theme, don't get me wrong, but I love this score right here. It's so adventurous. Like, it just oozes fun and excitement in the moment.
I agree.
Where do you think you're going? What? I just love her so much.
Where will I find Ares? Oh. No, he killed... Cyanide. You know what I think of, PJ, every time I hear cyanide?
Huh.
The play that goes wrong?
Yeah.
Where he calls it Cyanide!
Yeah, Cyanide!
Cyanide poisoning is the worst way to go.
I love David Thewlis. If you haven't seen the film Naked by Mike Lee, David Thewlis is extraordinary in that.
Yeah.
Wish we saw more of him as Loomis in the films. He was great too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was so
great
good
as
as
Loomis.
Loomis.
We only got
Dude.
really good screen time with him in the third one.
Those
I'm sorry, as who?
Loomis, the guy in Harry Potter.
Who?
Am I getting the name wrong?
It's
I have no
Remus
idea who you're
Lupin.
talking about. Now,
It's
if you're talking about
Remus
Remus Lupin,
Remus Lupin.
then yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I said
Remus
Loomis.
Lupin. Yes, I agree.
I knew exactly what he was talking about.
Loomis is the surname of Skeet Ulrich's character in Scream.
It's also Donald Pleasance, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to
It's
say, it's
also
also
a spell.
Donald Pleasance.
Also Donald Pleasance in Halloween.
It's also a
Please,
spell.
and
In
Donald
the Harry Potter
Pleasance.
franchise, David Thewlis plays Remus Lupin. And you know what's funny about that? You know why it's clever? Because lupine means wolf-ish. So Lupin, wolf, he's a werewolf. It's a whole thing, semantic. Anyway, whatever. You know what, guys?
Like pork lupine? That's terrible. That's really terrible.
What is happening? There's Lupin the Third.
Working together.
David Thewlis is just a guy that is so fun to watch, and I really want him to be in Doctor Who.
Saul says Chris Loomis is the guy from the Schmodown. True. And the Randy Quaid sheriff from 1986 is the Wraith.
Oh, that's a pull.
Saul in singles when?
I mean, he could try.
Oh, dude, this shot of the mask as it's breaking down is so rad to me. I don't know. All right, no comment. I see you, Saul.
I got buffered for a second. What's the time code you guys are at? Sorry.
Let me find it. 1 second.
It's all cool.
I'm at 57:32.
That's it.
But
Well, thank you.
I think I'm a little behind though. By a few seconds, but.
Oh, that's all good. I love technology.
Me too, man.
This movie also does a good job of dealing with antiquated gender politics.
Yes. I enjoy that in some of these like period adventure films and stuff, and anything that's a period piece now where you can kind of see them putting that sort of stuff in there and playing with all that. Like, I think if it's done correctly, it's very, very fun and important to show how ridiculous it all was and is. One of the great things about this movie is, like, we were talking about some of the supporting players, but even some of these character actors that they got along the way are just so good. And it's very easy to make a period piece and not have it feel like a period piece with the actors, like, or the way they talk and things like that. This movie is so well cast down to these small parts like this. Like, it just feels so real to the time. And I've always appreciated that.
Everything she's saying is right.
Yep. 100% right.
I'm a spy. That's what I do. I love it.
It's so good. We were probably going to die. This is a terrible idea. Chris Pine, man. You know, I think he was actually really, really good as Jack Ryan also. I was bummed out he didn't get to do more movies.
Yeah,
like,
it's just the one, right?
Yeah, and like the movie's fine.
Hey, Chris, do you know who directed the Jack Ryan movie that Chris Pine did?
Me?
I think I do.
Is there someone else here named Chris that I was unaware of?
Oh yeah, no.
No, I'm just saying I might know, so in case he doesn't.
Okay.
What's the movie called?
Jack Ryan,
Shadow Recruit.
I don't know. I probably
Buck.
I did know it before Saul put it in the chat. By the way, it is Kenneth Branagh.
Yes, it is Kenneth Branagh.
Oh, his version of Hamlet is great.
Yes. He's also great in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
He's hilarious. It says Lockhart.
He's perfect as Gilderoy Lockhart. Yeah.
I love him as Lockhart.
Can everybody see me? Can everybody hear me?
Hear
Good.
It just sucks his memory's wiped at the.
That whole scene, by the way, where they're talking, and then Chris Pine just thought, "Are you done now?" Oh, it's so
It's
good.
like, oh, you're done. I love it.
Oh, that must have hurt.
His accent
Yeah.
is so distinct.
Ewan's so good in this. His whole
Who gets
performance.
paid for honor?
I'm trying to think. Chris Pine really hasn't done like a horror movie, has he?
He has.
Which one?
Carriers?
Oh.
Is that right?
Oh, that's right. He did
Is that
do
what it's
something.
called?
I don't think it's that, but I mean, maybe you're right. But I mean, now I'm remembering he did one.
Yeah, Carriers. I was right.
When did that come out?
2009.
I'd love to see him do.
He also did Z for Zachariah, which is horror-ish.
I'm both frightened and aroused.
Yeah, nothing else really. And I mean, yeah, he hasn't really done anything else that you could really call horror at that point.
Yeah, those are the closest.
I would love to see what he could do in something like a Conjuring or something like that.
Yeah.
Saul, to that whole thing that you're talking about, I can tell you 100% that is true because I saw it at a test screening before it came out, and it was a very different movie by the time it was released. I'll also argue that I think that the title is super terrible. I thought that that whole stage of not calling movies anything other than the name of the characters, like John Carter, Jack Ryan, Jack Reacher, that got stale very quickly. I really think that they should have given it a better title than just Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. Anything that sounded like Patriot Games or The Hunt for Red October, make it sound exciting. I think that they just kind of dropped the ball.
Sum of all fears.
Yeah. I mean, I would have probably named it after the whatever the plan is that the family has, that they're supposed to bomb everything, and it has a very distinct name, and I can't remember what it is. But you could have named it that, and it would
This
have
is
worked.
one of my favorite parts.
The
How
ice cream.
excited she is about the ice cream, that you
Yeah.
should be very proud. I love it.
Let's see. Keira Knightley was actually quite good in Shadow Recruit, and so was Kevin Costner, actually, now that I think about it.
I might have to watch that like tomorrow or something.
I have
It's
all
okay.
of those. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
have a, I don't know if it's 4K or Blu-ray set of all of them.
It's close. It's probably the worst Jack Ryan movie, but Sum of All Fears is not great either.
I like Some of All Fears.
It's good. I don't like it nearly as much as I like the book. I think that's a big part of it for me. But I still think it's like very well cast. I thought Affleck was actually pretty good in it. And Liv Schreiber was fantastic in it.
Who?
Liev Schreiber.
Liev, there you go.
Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I thought he was really great as Clark, who Michael B. Jordan's playing in Without Remorse.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, he'll be the third person to play that role on the big screen. Do you guys know who the first was?
The first, no.
Willem Dafoe, Clear and Present Danger.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not similar to James Bond. It's not dissimilar to James Bond
Yeah.
because
I would love, since it's on Amazon, if that ends up crossing over with John Krasinski's Jack Ryan.
I think that's very intentional for them. David B. got it. Dafoe. Yeah, buddy.
This is so horrific what they do with the gas.
I know. It's awful. And just like the laughing and them just so terrible. Watching the glass crack and stuff. David, do you read the books too, or did you just
That's
watch the
horrific.
movies? I'm very curious now because I don't meet a lot of people who like Tom Clancy. And Saul, yeah, Clear and Present Danger rules. I really love Patriot games also. Hunt for Red October is great.
that's one of Sean Connery's best movies.
Yeah. And who played Jack Ryan in that film? The first time that Jack Ryan was played on the big
Alex
screen.
Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Patriot Games had the spin-off of U.S. Marshals, right?
No, that's the
No,
fugitive.
that was The Fugitive. Yeah.
Oh, the future. Whoops. My bad.
Yeah, David, I have the entire run that was written by Clancy before he passed away. I got them all from my dad. I'm a big fan of the books. I think that Patriot Games is my favorite of the books too. Without Remorse is so dope though, and like Rainbow Six is great. I just like a lot of those Jack Ryan books though. I just think they're a lot of fun.
Has there been any that weren't adapted yet?
So many.
Oh,
And the TV show is doing its own thing. Like, it's not based on any of the books. And Shadow Recruit wasn't based on any of the books either. I mean, you could make a really long-running TV series if
Yeah, I
you
was
were
about to say,
adapting
that's-
books.
Sitting there waiting for the money.
They are making. I mean, the TV show is happening.
Oh, it is. Oh, cool.
It's on Amazon with John Krasinski.
Yeah, season 3 is shooting, I think, right now.
Yeah.
David, I'm pretty sure I saw the movie first because my dad used to watch it a lot when I was really young, and so I didn't read the book until after. Ford is probably still my favorite Jack Ryan, but I think Baldwin is right there too. And like I said, I really liked Chris Pine. I didn't expect us to have like a Tom Clancy conversation during Wonder Woman.
It wouldn't be the Pajukin if we stayed on topic.
At least it's all kind of related, though. You know, Chris Pine is in Jack Ryan, so.
Mm-hmm. She's been put together.
Oh, what the hell? I hadn't even thought about that, Saul. You ever stop and think about the similarities between the endings of Patriot Games and The Devil's Own? Both have Ford fighting an IRA member on a boat. I hadn't even thought about that. That's going to keep me up tonight, dude. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I mean, if a formula works.
Yeah. Yeah, David, I'm super curious about the Without Remorse adaptation. I thought that trailer was really great. I can't wait to watch it. And Reefism, I'm also excited for the Jack Reacher TV series. I'm so glad that Christopher McQuarrie is still involved.
I'm also glad they... and I like... Don't get me wrong. I like Tom Cruise. But I'm glad they cast someone...
that looks like the character.
Who is physically appropriate, we'll say.
And I'll say this. I think that Cruise got the attitude of Reacher right.
I think he did a really nice job. Especially that first Jack Reacher movie is damn good.
Dude, I just rewatched it recently. It is still so badass.
Really well shot and thrilling.
Great mystery, too.
Yeah. The second, I mean, you got Werner Herzog.
Yeah.
Has a villain in it, so...
The second is like a decent popcorn watch on TNT sort of movie, but it's not
funny because Edward Zwick directed it, who's a great filmmaker.
Yeah, but he does more like I don't know, like I think of Glory and I think of The Last Samurai and you know, they're very different. I'll stop now, sorry.
Yeah, this scene is remarkable and the scene it always reminds me of is from Lord of the Rings, where Eowyn goes, "I am no man."
Yeah.
You know, he said, "No man can cross it." This scene is remarkable. The music.
We almost didn't get this scene.
I know. The studio didn't want it.
They didn't want it?
Pulls down her hair. She's going to take off her cloak. And I'm going to be quiet and just enjoy the majesty of this miraculous sequence of filmmaking.
The music, the way it's shot, like everything about it.
The shield.
Yeah.
It's really the first time we see her in her costume, too, you know?
Mm-hmm. And WB didn't want this in the movie, which is mind-boggling.
I just don't get it. It's one of the best scenes ever in a superhero film.
Well, look, the decisions are always bad, so I don't... Well, most of the time.
Oh, just that shot of her hitting the bullet away.
So they wanted all of this reshot. Wow.
I just love the score right here. That shot of her with the shield, just...
iconic.
Yeah, man.
So good.
God, I love the music in this scene.
Yeah, the music.
Just her like destroying the guns and stuff. Just so awesome, man. What a freaking sequence, man.
Amazing.
Yeah, just incredible. David, what did I think of the Jack Ryan series so far on Amazon? I really loved season 1. I did not like the beginning of season 2, and I haven't finished it yet. I really need to go back to it and really give it a fair shake, because I was in a weird place at the time when it dropped too. So
this scene too is just. Can we agree that the Wonder Woman theme is one of the great superhero themes?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It might. I don't want to say it's the best, because like I still really love the Danny Elfman theme for Batman, and of course
every time it kicks in though, I just want to be like, yeah.
Oh, totally. Also, one that we don't talk about nearly enough, as far as I'm concerned, with superhero themes, is the Shadows theme from The Shadow, and that was done by oh, why did I just blank? Who did Gremlins?
Goldsmith.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry Goldsmith.
So
that Shadow theme rocks.
Oh no, I'm buffering. Oh, this is so disappointing.
Oh no.
So, as I can't watch the movie because it's buffering, who else was in consideration? I know they thought about Jamie Alexander.
Yep.
I know they looked at Olga Kurylenko.
Yep.
They looked at Megan Fox.
There was someone else, I feel like,
considered Elodie Young, who ended up in Daredevil. And I know they talked to Jessica Biel for a while, and there was a brief time where they were looking into Gina Carano.
Yeah.
For a long time, it's still fucking buffering. I'm so upset. Can I get a time code?
Oh, yeah. At the 1 hour, 19 minutes now. If you pause it at an hour, 19 and 30 seconds, I'll give you a 10 count. 10.
I can't get it to play, so.
Oh, okay. Let me know when you're ready. I'll give you a time code then.
Yeah, so the theme for Wonder Woman on electric cello is played by an incredible musician named Tina Guo, who I got to see play it live at a Hans Zimmer concert. The movie's not playing.
The way we first hear that theme in BVS is one of my favorite moments in comic book movies.
And Mike, I agree. It's hard to see anyone else but Gal in the role for me also.
People give her crap, and I think she's fantastic as Wonder Woman.
I never understood how she was a bad actress. I've seen that crap before.
I'm like, unless you have a better suggestion, then just shush.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Using the Linda Carter framework, there was a period in my mind where I fan cast Lauren Graham.
Oh yeah.
10 years ago, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
One of my fan
my
casts...
whole HBO Max isn't even working now.
Oh, that's not good. But similarly to you, Max, my fan cast off of like the TV show, if you had gone that route, was Sarah Lancaster from Chuck.
Apparently there were outages for HBO Max. 20 minutes
can I
ago.
get a time code?
You got it? Okay. Hour and 21 now. Do you want a 10 count?
The village is celebrating. Does that feel good?
Yes, the village is celebrating.
Meanwhile, I missed one of my favorite scenes in the movie, but that's okay.
Damn you, HBO Max!
Yeah, apparently there's some outages going out. So,
and of course, this photo here, which in my mind's iconic, is we first see this image in BBS.
And when you hear the theme when the picture comes up, it is so freaking badass.
So, I have such an interesting relationship with BVS. It's a movie that the more I watch it, the more I fall in love with it. I mean, look, you could see.
I've always liked it. Yeah.
You can see my Batman in his Superman Crusher suit there.
Yeah.
On the shelf. And as much as I like the ultimate cut, I do think the scene where Wonder Woman is basically watching footage on a computer to introduce Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg is clunky as hell.
Yeah,
that's probably my least favorite scene in that whole movie.
Yeah, I like both cuts. Solid film. I've always thought that.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Even when I first saw it, my friend Terrence and I left, and I was like, I really, really liked everything they did with Batman, and less so with Superman. But I think the ultimate cut fixed a lot of my concerns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially with that subplot with the guy in the court. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Not my favorite DCEU, but I love Batman. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. It's good stuff, man.
I want more of him, but I want his health to come first.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. Like, if it had been a post-credit scene, it would be fine, but it sort of just stops the movie dead in its tracks, especially because it comes, like...
I know what you mean.
Right at the climax of the movie. Like, okay, you're seeing a movie called Batman vs. Superman. Batman is about to verse Superman. Yes, I used verse as a verb. It's okay. And she's like, let me just check my email. But, like, I love some of that stuff. Like, when they're at the party at Lex's house. Then
that's amazing with the dance, yeah.
And both Bruce and Diana are trying to steal the sand. It's so good.
It gave me a lot of Batman vibes, too, at the ball.
Yeah. So I'm trying a new brand of hard seltzer called Two Robbers.
Ooh, I like the name.
Its flavor is watermelon cucumber, and it is excellent.
It sounds delightful, to be honest with you.
It's excellent. No sugar, only 2
not
carbs.
very likely.
I know when we talk modern superhero movies, the romance people always go to is the other Steve and Peggy.
Right.
And I love them, especially in First Avenger. But to me, this scene is the most romantic scene in a modern superhero movie.
I don't disagree with you.
I think it's partly because of their chemistry. I think it's partly because it builds to it so beautifully. There's just something about it that's magical and wonderful, and it's like a moment of celebration after the liberation of this village. You know, they see each other as equals, as warriors. It's just, I don't know, it really works for me. When I first saw this movie and this scene happen, I cried.
Yeah, I think this scene is just remarkable and gorgeous and everything that it needs to be.
Also, as long as we're watching Wonder Woman and Patty Jenkins, can we talk about how effing excited I am for her Rogue Squadron movie?
Yep.
Dude, everyone was like getting on her because of Wonder Woman 1984. I'm still stoked for it.
Oh,
but
so
I'm gonna say
again,
quick.
I really enjoy Wonder Woman 84. I get that it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's a very different movie from this, and I think that threw some people off. It's earnest and cheesy, which is not always the favorite language of the internet, but it's still a really beautifully directed film. She has shown in both of her Wonder Woman movies that she has an incredible eye for flight-based visuals.
Agreed.
Like one of my favorite scenes in Wonder Woman 84 is when she first flies, and then they use the score from the movie Sunshine. I think she's gonna kill Rogue Squadron. I really do, and I'll be
It's gonna be
shocked,
amazing.
shocked if Chris Pine isn't in it. I don't know if he'll be the lead, but I think he's gonna have a role in it.
I think
Did they
there's
give a year?
no way. 2023, I believe, December.
Okay.
I think she'll do that, and then Wonder Woman 3 after.
Yeah.
Because on that Disney Investors Day, that little reel she put together, like I can't remember the last time like an announcement video for a fucking franchise movie got me emotional.
It got me just so she was so happy. That was the one thing too. Like
and,
she was just
so
happy.
And this is it's so cheesy and such a cliche, but it works so perfectly. Like what makes this scene extra romantic and magical is the snow. It's snowing. Which
I thought they dotted to so nicely at the end of the second one too.
Yeah. I agree, Mike. I like the invisible jet scene too, with the fireworks and stuff. Really beautiful stuff. I think we do get Wedge.
I think 100%.
As a sizable role, yeah.
I also think that guy, the dude that Alex interviewed, is also going to probably be a big role too.
I really want, and I don't know about the timeline exactly, but oh god, sorry. I want Hira Syndulla in it.
Yeah.
If the timeline works, Hira Syndulla in that movie would be aces.
And there's a ton of like starfighters they can go in from the EU that they can bring back into canon. Great.
Oh, there's so much. There's so
many.
Being as it's snowing, does this make this Merry Movie Squad now?
Well, I mean, arguably Wonder Woman 84 is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I was going to say Wonder Woman 84 actually is.
PLD said reportedly it's post Rise of Skywalker, but that's not confirmed. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. That way you could still do it how you want. Like,
I mean, theoretically, if it's post Rise of Skywalker and you're dealing with flying, you could have Poe in it.
Yeah, the only bummer about it, and this is one of the things I thought that Rise did so poorly, was killing off Snap. Because
Snap Wexley, yeah.
Yeah, Wexley should 100% be in a movie like that. And the way they handled all of that was just...
Yeah, there's a lot. Good night, Reef. Sorry, I know we started late tonight.
Sorry, guys.
No. Good, man.
It worked for me, too, because I didn't get home from my hockey game until like 10:30.
You went to a Rangers game?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was so great to be back in a sporting arena. Let me tell you, it was amazing.
Dude, I've been so bad in our fantasy hockey league the last 3 weeks. I think I've lost 3 weeks.
I changed the name of my team in our fantasy hockey league to This Team Sucks.
Yeah, I'm versing you this week, actually.
I know. You're going to be me because my team sucks. This, obviously it's different wars, but this set here, this whole scene reminds me sort of the climax of Saving Private Ryan when they're in that dilapidated village.
Yeah, 100%.
Sort of making their stand. Again, obviously this is World War I. I'm not an idiot, but aesthetically, when you have a war-torn village, buildings falling apart, just gives me similar vibes.
Definitely.
I ended up watching that movie twice last year. Once when it came out on 4K and once in the drive-in over July 4th. That was amazing to see that on the drive-in because I never seen it in a big screen before.
I remember you were sending me pictures while you were there. I was so jealous because my parents didn't stop me from watching a lot of things, but Private Ryan was one that even when it came out, they were like, "You're too young to be watching it yet," so I never saw it on the big screen.
I love that movie.
I would love to see it on the big screen.
I love the way she, Patty and her cinematographer, whose name I can't pull, I'm sorry, light these scenes.
Oh, excellent.
The way it's coming through the trees and the forest. Chris Pine is perfect.
The way he's looking at her right now is...
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
I just love this score, man. Even these like little moments, the way that it just helps really tighten up the tension and like the build and the sequence is just so fantastic.
I think it's some of Rupert Gregson Williams' best work.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's easy to get him and his brother Harry Gregson Williams confused. Because they're both composers who sort of came from the Remote Control studio, which is Hans Zimmer's conglomeration of composers. But yeah, I think his score for this is great. He did such a great job. He also did Aquaman, and I love the Aquaman score as well.
Yeah.
And you know what other score I really like that he did, and it's a movie I have a huge soft spot for, and I know you feel the same way, PJ, is David Yates's The Legend of Tarzan.
Yes, absolutely.
When we talk about like modern pulp adventure movies, I think that absolutely needs to be in the conversation. I ended up seeing that movie 3 times in theaters because I thought it was so fun.
Yeah. I think that movie's so fun. Like, great cast. Just a great pulp adventure. The action scenes are so fun. Like, that movie is much, much fun.
So, again, obviously this is World War I, and they're not Nazis. Yet there are still certain costuming and coloration and flag choices that movies like this make that subconsciously make you think of Nazis regardless. This is really interesting, actually. Mike K says The Legend of Tarzan is one of the best sequels to a first movie that doesn't exist. That's really interesting because I think it does sort of play out in a way where they're just sort of like, you know who Tarzan is, we're just going to jump in. And Margot Robbie's awesome in that. Sam Jackson, Christoph Waltz. I like that movie, man.
I don't think I've seen it.
I have it on 4K, I think, but
I have it on Blue, but not 4K because it had they released the 4K after I'd already bought the Blue. Warner now does like day and date, but like But I think I'll upgrade it because I think that movie is so cool, man.
Well, it was also just nice. It was nice to see Yates do something not Harry Potter, even though I think he killed his Harry Potter movies.
And it sounds like he's going to see Fantastic Beast all the way through, according to one of the actors recently. And I'm like, I want anyone else to take over at this point. And that's not a dig at Yates, but like,
I think he's burned out from it.
No, I just think that it's too much of the sameness now. Like,
yeah.
One of the exciting things about the Harry Potter franchise to me was that different filmmakers could come in to tell the stories and put their own spin and flair on the universe. That was kind of cool, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mike, that's such a great point. He said The Legend of Tarzan is one of the best sequels to a first movie that doesn't exist.
Almost as if I just read that and talked about it like 2 minutes ago.
I caught the other part of the conversation, and I didn't hear you talk about that.
No, it's okay. That's fine.
I am a little bit stoned.
I'm here to keep you honest. Oh, I'm working on my inebriation. This stuff is awesome. I may have a new favorite. Wait, I know this is unrelated, but can I read what the box says? So I bought a case, so...
Oh, Max Pose is reading something off a box. This should be entertaining.
It's a live box right here. We started our hard seltzer adventure in the 50-square-foot backyard of our home in Philly. After months of testing, we finally had our recipe. We were on our way. And then our house got broken into and robbed. Weeks later, we were robbed. Again. Bolt lock blown apart. Cops said it was a professional job. It seemed like the only thing they didn't take was our recipe. But instead of closing shop, we decided to double down. A year later, we finally launched 2 Robbers, the best tasting hard seltzer on the market. We thought it only fitting to name our drink in honor of the guys who got us going. Cheers to you two, wherever you are.
That's
Isn't that
amazing.
Awesome? That's
amazing. Wow.
I want to see like a short film about that.
We should just turn it into a movie. biopic material right there. It's very Social Network like.
I think we can all agree within the next 5 to 7 years, Chris Pine will be an Oscar-nominated actor.
Yes, I do agree.
I thought he came pretty close with Hell or High Water.
I think the fact he wasn't nominated for that was a crime.
That movie is extraordinarily good.
I love that movie so much.
One of the great neo-westerns.
I really liked Let Him Go also.
I only watched it a couple months ago. I fell in love with that movie. I thought it was going to be like a cheesy Liam Neeson turned down this role middle-aged action movie with Kevin Costner.
Nope.
And it's actually a really beautiful meditation on grief and family and
Colts.
neo-western. And honestly, okay, pausing for 1 second. The look with her sword tucked into the back of her dress is so awesome.
Yeah.
And then they
this
start
whole scene
dancing.
and the music.
Diane Lane in Let Him Go is amazing.
Yeah. Dude, it's just so good.
The last movie that Rupert Gregson Williams scored, Hubie Halloween. He also did Sandy Wexler and The Do-Over, so I guess he works with those fools a lot.
That's amazing. And honestly, shout out Hubie Halloween. That movie was so dumb, and I loved it.
I will say my pitch again. So they make a point to mention that Hubie is Jewish in that movie.
A lot. Yeah.
I want them to make a sequel, and I know Adam Sandler doesn't make sequels, but if you're listening, Adam Sandler or anyone who works at Happy Madison Productions, okay, my pitch, Hubie Hanukkah.
Yeah, I think it needs to happen.
Boom.
I think that would be remarkable, to be honest.
I want... No, that's not what I want. I want to spend way too much money and get a replica of her sword.
Oh my god,
That's
that'd be
fair.
so much fun.
Oh, man.
The way her dress is kind of blowing in the wind.
Yeah. The way she's
and Diana
so worried
gets
about
on that horse.
Yeah, her being so worried about the village.
One of the things I love about Wonder Woman as a character in this movie, the dress flying, so good, is she is genuinely a hero in that she cares about the little guy.
Yep.
And that's why one of my favorite parts of, we talked about this last night, two of my favorite parts in Snyder's Justice League was first, they added back in the line after she saves those kids from the bank heist or whatever. Sabrina! Wait, I don't get exclamation points, just Buck? I see how it is, Sabrina.
You didn't buy her a tote bag today. I did.
I bought her a dildo and a butt plug.
What? What the fuck, Maxwell?
It's true.
Did you not watch Buck?
That took a weird ass turn.
I'm only reporting the facts. Sorry, everyone. It's true. Where the little girl says, "I want to be like you," and Diana says, "You can be whatever you want to be, princess." But then also, when Cyborg fixes the ATM to give that struggling mother more money.
Oh, dude, that scene is...
I don't get why that scene's not in the movie. It's not long.
Racism.
Yeah, you're probably right on that one.
The only explanation I buy for why Cyborg's role was changed and cut so much is racism. But yes, hello, Sabrina. We love you, Sabrina, even if I don't get exclamation points or hello. It's fine. So we're approaching the final act here of this movie, and since it came out, I think one of the common complaints you hear is that the movie, just becomes a pretty typical
superhero.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear it, Sabrina. Really, that makes my heart happy.
Oh, the grenade.
Yeah, exactly, Chris.
Yeah.
That it just becomes another like super powered explosive fight, but I think it's so well done and it's earned in the character moments. And you have to have like a big climactic battle, and I think it works. I love everything with Steve. I love it being at the airfield.
Yeah.
I like the reveal of the villain. I think it works. I do.
I don't necessarily love the last part of the battle. I think it's a little... It needed a little more time just for effects work, but, like, I think it's still fitting enough, you know what I mean? Like...
Sure.
I think she gets to have a big heroic battle that she's been wanting to have the whole movie, and I think it has a very emotionally resonant situation.
And I think the twist
What's
works.
up, Pierce? I agree.
You're led to believe that he is Ares, or she thinks he is. And there's that theme. By the way, I'm sure you guys all know David B. David B was in the chat earlier. David does these amazing Twitch streams where he plays music, and one of the songs he'll frequently play on his electric guitar is the Wonder Woman theme.
It's so
dope.
Awesome. Yeah,
so
it's
dope.
So good. David B's the best.
Dude, he's so talented.
And he was on the Unwind last night talking Snyder's Cut with us, so you guys should check it out.
When I first watched this movie, I thought this was Theoden's father, the guy who
from
Boromir's
Fringe.
father. Yeah,
from Fringe.
Yeah.
Oh, John Noble.
Yeah,
John
I thought that was him.
John Noble is one of my favorite actors. Because
does he
of Fringe.
Look like him? Yeah.
No, he does.
They do.
I agree. He does.
There's a strong resemblance.
There's an
John
alternate
Noble's-
where he would be good in this too.
Also great on Elementary.
John Noble's so talented. I love that guy.
John Noble's one of those actors where if he shows up in something, it instantly improves.
Yeah.
Didn't he guest star on something that I gotta look. I feel like there's something I'm thinking of.
Sleepy Hollow, he was on.
He also...
Oh, yeah, that might be what I'm thinking of, actually.
Oh, he did one episode of The Boys.
Oh, okay, that's what that was it. Yeah, he was on The Boys.
Yeah, and he did a lot of it. Oh, and Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, and he was great
Where-
in Legends.
Well, he
He
mostly
played himself,
voiced.
too.
Well, he
Yeah.
mostly voiced the villain, but then in one episode he played himself, which was,
It was
delightful.
awesome. It was
That's
awesome.
hilarious. He played a demon.
And the fact that, like, he's been acting since the 80s, but it didn't feel like he really came to prominence until the 2000s, because he didn't do a lot.
I firmly believe it was Two Towers that catapulted him into,
Superstardom.
I don't know if I
Yes.
call it superstar, but success.
Which
Well,
he's
I
in
call it
the
superstardom amongst our
extended
group.
cut. He's only in the extended cut for that one.
With who?
John Noble as Denethor. He's not in the theatrical edition.
He was also awesome in Superman Unbound as the voice of Brainiac.
He has such a great voice.
Yeah.
But he plays Sherlock Holmes' father in Elementary in a bunch of episodes. I'm a huge fan of that show, which I have not been quiet about.
I guess he was in an episode of Stargate SG-1 also. Wow.
I legitimately haven't seen the theatrical cuts of those films since they were in theaters.
I've seen them at least 10 times.
You prefer the theatrical?
No, I mean the extended cuts.
Oh yeah, I mean I've never seen the theatrical since they've been in theaters.
Okay, I guess.
Oh, the extended I've seen. Yeah.
I think I just misheard you.
Yeah, 3 times over with the commentaries too.
Dude, the cat's commentary is one of my favorite ones ever on the movie. That's why with the 4 hours with the Snyder cut, I'm like, oh, that's nothing. I do that all the time with Lord of the Rings.
It's not Aries.
I love this because it shows that she has faith in humanity.
Yeah.
And she believes that they could only be this evil and horrific to each other if they were being influenced.
Yeah. And again, their chemistry is so insanely
Off the charts.
good.
I agree.
And this scene especially, like, you can feel the emotion between them. And that's not all. You can't feel people's emotions in a relationship like this in a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so different for a big blockbuster type adventure film.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is like Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder.
Yeah.
Or Harrison Ford and Karen Allen. Like, there's just some of those stars that just, you felt it.
It's very Harrison Ford, Karen Allen.
Yeah. Or Michael Douglas and
we've talked about this a little bit. I don't think there's any character that's untouchable and can't be recast. People are always like, only Harrison Ford can play Indiana Jones. Well, no, because Sean Patrick Flannery and River Phoenix have both played Indiana Jones.
And Sean Patrick Flannery's played the role the most times of any actor.
Chris Pine would be perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh. John Noble used to host a fantastic show on the Science Channel called Dark Matters.
Yes, it was so good. I loved that. Cool. It was really fun.
Was that around the same time as Fringe, or was it before that?
Around the same time.
Makes sense.
Here it comes.
Just that look, the look when he realizes she's watching. Yeah. What David Thewlis, man. The way he delivers that, they don't deserve our help, they only deserve destruction line.
I love that David Thewlis is credited in Snyder's Justice League because he's in like 3 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing Ares again.
Yeah.
It's so good.
He should have gone for the head.
Kind of had a reverse of that moment. The Snyder Cut has a reverse of the Infinity War should have gone for the head, where Superman is like unimpressed.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Dude, if that movie taught me a lot of things, Cavill has been just in desperate need of another Superman movie to finally, like, he's so good in the Snyder Cut.
Man of Steel's really good too.
He's great in all of them, but like it just like really.
I think he's a great Superman.
It just really honed in on. I really want to have him as Superman more.
Good night, Paul. Enjoy writing questions.
Yep. Good night, my friend.
Yeah, bud.
Just the way that this keeps playing is so... The way that the sword breaks.
Didn't Marisol mention something about Godkiller?
Yeah, I think she did. That line, I am, just the way he...
Great delivery of it, too.
Yeah.
Again, I cannot stress enough, if you have not seen David Thewlis and Mike Leigh's film Naked, legitimately one of my favorite performances ever in a movie. He is extraordinarily good.
Yeah, man, I fucking love him.
I also think he's wonderful in Prisoner of Azkaban, which is my favorite Harry Potter film.
Yeah, Prisoner is really solid.
He's so beautiful in that
His
movie.
first three are perfect.
Nails it. Thewlis looks good in that.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's giving me some PLD vibes with that stash, though.
His backstory is not too dissimilar to Vandal Savage, who's if you
Yeah.
because
In Legends of Tomorrow.
yeah, he is a caveman who meteor came down, slept with the meteor, and then he became immortal. Cannot die.
I could see Savage being a villain they use in a DC movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Um,
The stories that they put in I keep bringing it, but in the Justice League animated show also with him is awesome. So he could totally Justice League Doom, which is Tower of Babel. Yeah.
I have so much shit to watch.
It's one of my favorite DC animated movies.
Yeah. That could make a great live action one where Batman basically gives out the secrets, everybody's weakness to the.
But it takes a lot of build up because you gotta have all these separate characters have to have their own movie.
Yep. Oh, and fun fact: Michael York played Ares in the animated series.
Oh,
So every time I hear Ares, I think of his voice, that distinctive Michael York voice from Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Well, for me, he's always going to be from Cabaret.
Yeah, Cabaret too. Yeah.
Is Justice League Animated streaming on HBO Max?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
I highly recommend you watch it. It's really good.
I mean, I've seen Batman the Animated Series. I've seen Batman Beyond.
Just note that you're going to be hooked to Justice League because it's like 4 seasons. 2 is the original, and then 2 is unlimited. And they go into like the government and how the government is affected by.
Well, I like a lot of the DC animated movies they've done.
Yeah.
Like Wonder Woman. What is it? Bloodlines.
Yeah,
Justice League Dark.
I have
Constantine ones.
I have that whole.
I have a good portion of them.
Yeah.
I have the 15 from the new canon, and then all those older.
I have
Yeah.
a lot of them, not all of them.
War is what the Justice League movie should have been.
Yeah. I would recommend before you watch Justice League, watch Superman the animated series because that takes a lot of stories from that show.
Which I think is also now on HBO Max, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
So I would start with
think
Superman and then go into the Justice League.
See, I think this is a really solid, like, comic book
Yeah.
action battle scene. I really want to cosplay as Steve, but what I really want is just his watch.
Yeah.
And I've tried to find it, and I can't find it anywhere. Okay, so here's the pitch. So Chris Pine came back for Wonder Woman 84 with magic. Right. So for Wonder Woman 3, find a way to bring Etta back
Yes.
I don't care how they or why they explain it, but I just want her back as her like sidekick.
That'd be amazing. Make it a buddy cop comedy.
Did they at the beginning of '84 confirm that she like passed away due to old age or something? Edda?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean,
That'd be fun though.
magic, science. All
Let's
right,
bring her back.
I have an important question. Another one?
Yes.
I thought so.
This scene right here where it's inaudible.
Have you seen Monster?
Oh yeah.
Patty Jenkins is quite a good filmmaker.
Hey, what's up, Chuck? Good to see you, man.
Chuck, we're still got like 20 minutes left. We're at the emotional crux of the film.
She's got her eardrums blown out.
By the way, I found out that and I hope he doesn't get mad that I'm sharing this, that in like one of those things where like you're baffled by how small the world is.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck and I went to the same film school, just years apart.
Are you serious?
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, which
That's
is bizarre.
So bizarre.
So we probably had a lot of the same professors and stuff.
That's crazy. What a just utterly small world.
Right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, I think, I don't remember which, maybe it was Chris who said it or Buck said it, that, you know, like the continuity and canon with all of this stuff is a little messy, but it's clear to me that this movie and Aquaman are still heavily influenced by Snyder. And like the aesthetic of Ares here and some of the imagery it feels very Snydery. Not as a bad thing or a riff-off. I like the aesthetic consistency.
I just meant like it's not in the same, like, it doesn't overlap with Justice League too much.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. If Justice League not being canon, this doesn't affect it or whatever. I forget what we were talking about.
So, yeah, I love Chris Pine as Kirk. I love the first one and the third one, and I'm okay with the second one. I don't think it's as bad as people say. But the pitch for the fourth one, where there'd be time travel and he would get to go on an adventure with his dad, so you have Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth.
I want to see that so bad.
I want to see that so bad. That seems like...
Sounds so fun. I can't believe Paramount continues to muck that up so badly.
Yeah, because the Voyage Home, which is considered the best.
I mentioned this earlier, Chuck, that I loved watching the Snyder Cut credits. I saw David Thewlis's name because he showed up for like 3 seconds as Ares.
When his name popped up towards the beginning, I was like, so Ares is in this?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and then when I saw it, I was like, oh look, yep, and lo and behold.
It was an expensive 3 seconds, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime a villain says the word futile, you know shit is real. You're like, oh, well, it's futile. Woo!
He looks like Galactus.
I have to pee. I'll be right back.
You're missing the best part.
Yeah.
Should have gone for the head, Chuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the other really funny thing is that Chuck and I apparently live in the same neighborhood. So if you see me, Chuck, feel free to come say hi. You know what basically where I live, like right by the bridge. So I'm always around. Those Disney people knew what they were doing with It's a Small World after all.
Yeah.
It's basically committing suicide.
This acting from Pine here is so poignant. where it's like going between sorrow and pain and relief and happiness, and then she says, breathtaking. Yeah, socially distanced, of course, 100%. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, powerful.
Such a cool shot.
Yep. And now she's mad.
You won't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah, you will not like Diana when.
Do you ever want to see like a crossover between DC and Marvel as a movie, or no?
It would never happen, but
I know.
think it'd be cool.
I mean, if it could, yeah.
If it could, it would be cool, but I don't think it ever will.
It's just too many loopholes. I get it.
They haven't done
like
a crossover.
A legal nightmare is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely haven't done a crossover even in the comics since Justice League Avengers, and that was like early 2000s. It's been almost 20 years.
I think I'm okay without it. I like keeping them separate.
Yeah, like there was the Marvel versus DC 12-issue mini
that
from the 90s. That was fun, but
I just feel like it could just be a cool kind of thing. But too much money to. It's too much money for. It might be $1 billion movie, but it might be $2 billion to make, kind of thing.
I think it'd be more likely in like an animated film.
Yeah.
But I like them as their own universes.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like Superman and Spider-Man was always a fun crossover, but like I've always felt like DC's crossovers with other properties. Like when you look at Batman and Predator, that made more sense. Superman and Alien makes more sense.
Well, to me, I want to see Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel fuck shit up together.
That would be dope. I'm not gonna lie. Or Wonder Woman and Indiana Jones.
That's the plot for the 5th one.
Groundbreaking news here on the Pachucan.
That'd be so dope, though.
You heard it here first, folks.
The way the audio slowly starts to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck. I'll bring it up in a second. Yeah. But I was gonna say the Aliens is now with Marvel, and they're doing their first run real soon. Like I think in April or May.
That could be cool.
Yeah, and they're actually doing a bunch of covers across some of the brands of like Predator, hunting some of the characters because they also got Predator. I'll be excited to see what Marvel can do with the IP. I think they've done a really nice job with Star Wars. So,
and see,
excuse me.
And I love this, how it's not for her about the battle; it's about her faith in humanity.
Right. This shot is so great too.
So cool.
Yeah, Chuck May, thank you. It's so weird to not see it with Dark Horse anymore because I've only known Alien and Predator with Dark Horse.
That's how it was with Star Wars for the longest time because that used to be Dark Horse. Now it's Marvel.
Yeah.
Dark Horse, I think, still has all the like Buffy and Angel comics.
No, they don't anymore either.
They don't?
That Boom now.
Oh.
Yeah, and Boom has actually been re-releasing some of the old run while continuing and doing a new one.
Isn't that all like in continuity with after it ended and all of that?
Yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
Dark Horse still has Hellboy and stuff like that, but they aren't as IP heavy, I don't think, as they used to be.
I would like, for the third Wonder Woman movie,
Yes,
So
Saul,
cool.
this is correct. Fun fact, Predator only got a sequel because of how popular the comics were.
I kind of wish they didn't make one.
I love Predator 2.
Okay.
And I think Predators is really fun too.
I do like Predators. I agree.
The only one I don't really care for is The Predator.
I never watched it because I didn't want to be disappointed in Shane Black. It would be cool if in the third Wonder Woman that like an actual chunk of it takes place on Themyscira, and sort of takes a note from like what they did with Thor Ragnarok, where instead of it being her in the human world, it's more.
Hey, what up, Sean? Yeah, I
What's up,
agree.
Wingblade?
Yeah, Chuck, real quick, Boom has tons of IPs, and one of the coolest ones for me is the Bill and Ted and all the Jim Henson stuff, because they and Archaea got together, and they're a company now together, and so they have a lot of the Henson stuff. They've done Dark Crystal, and they've done Labyrinth sequels. Like, it's incredible. And yes, Eric, Predator 2 does indeed rock.
That's
I think that might be fair. So
one thing that crossed my mind is finish the stories that were going to happen in Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 as a comic.
that I'd be down for that, honestly. Do them as 2 graphic novels or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so crazy to me. Chuck's right. There's a Transformers Back to the Future comic crossover that I'm waiting to get the trade paperback of. And the weirdest one that I just read last month that I got the trade of was Transformers and Terminator. Yeah, so Predator 2 was the first, I agree, but still good.
Those crossover comics, I don't know.
Some are really fun.
I do like. Well, I like the movie, the animated movie too, Batman Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Well, those are some of the best. I'll be honest, some of the best crossover runs have been the stuff that IDW has done with Ghostbusters, because they crossed over with the Turtles twice.
IDW is on my shit list.
Well, I know. That's a whole thing. But the Ghostbusters comics are still fantastic.
And the crossover with Batman, they explained Scarecrow's design change from season 3 to season 4 when he turned into a hangman. That was cool.
Yeah.
Because I think it's all in continuity with Batman the Animated Series, too, which is cool.
What a great movie.
Yeah.
I love this shot, too. The camera cranes up, and you see her, and then it sort of fades to the photo.
The fact that her face is the last thing in the fade is so beautiful, too. The fact that he got her that picture.
Mm-hmm. Way to go, Bruce.
Yeah.
And I want that watch. I want that watch. It's so cool.
Another thing from the Snyder cut that I like is they took out the line about Bruce bringing up Steve Trevor.
The what?
The line where Bruce brings up about Steve Trevor trying to get under her skin.
Oh. The only thing I missed from that is really just the Batman theme and the Superman theme. I thought that
what
was
a great, like, super heroic ending shot.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things I kind of liked about the second is the second has a very similar moment too towards the end. Oh, this score though, man. I dig this movie, you guys. It's so fun. Buck number 1, what a great pick for this.
I love this music.
This movie's so fantastic. I think continues to show that Patty has such a great idea of what the character can be. And that's why 84 is so cool too, because it's just such a different version, but still keeping in what you learn about her here. And I love that Patty and Gal are just like on the same page of wanting to do different versions of the character. But starting with you, Buck, what are your thoughts after we revisited it?
It's still number one on my list.
I love it, man.
All right. I love the score. I just love the score.
It's so good, man. Christopher Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Did you enjoy yourself tonight?
Oh, I did. I love that film. It's great. It also, like, I brought up Batman Justice League the animated series a lot from a lot of the kind of plot points and stuff, because there's a lot in that animated series, story beat wise, where they delve into Themyscira and Ares and all of that stuff that they actually incorporated into this film that I really appreciate. You could tell Zack Snyder really borrowed a lot from that, and I just love.
Amazing.
Oh, Eric.
I love Eric.
Yeah. I just love period pieces set in World War One. This was phenomenal front to back. So, and the score is amazing, and it is probably one of the best superhero themes. So, yeah, good choice, Buck.
Can I just say how much I miss having you on the Watchalongs, man? It was such a pleasure to have you here tonight. Like I've missed you.
I know. I get busy, or I just am tired.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I do a lot. So yeah.
I was just happy to see you. It made my heart happy. All right, let me have.
I like talking movies with the guys. I just don't get into that. And I know I'm always invited, just that it's whenever I can get on.
Well, Maxwell, you love this movie. What were your thoughts?
I do. Yeah, I love Wonder Woman. I think it remains the crown jewel of the DCEU so far. I think it has everything I want in a superhero movie. Great characters, beautiful cinematography, action that's well done but complemented with characters you grow to love, a hero who you understand and relate to why she's fighting for what she fights in. It's epic when it has to be epic. It's romantic when it has to be romantic. The score is great. And again, despite what others may say, I think Gal is perfect as Diana. So I love it.
Yeah, it's just,
I love it.
Everything about this movie is still so fantastic, and it holds up, man. It's just so fun. It's one of the best of the DCU for sure. But Buck, this was such a fantastic choice. I'm glad that we could sit down and hang out and watch this tonight, man. Max, do we have some stuff that we want to plug one last time before we get out of here?
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of a weird week. A lot of our normal shows are, Tuesday and Thursday we're off, but that's partly because Wednesday we're doing our massive 1-year celebration. If you could believe it, March 24th will be the 1-year anniversary of the PJCN, to look back at where it started and what it is now. Kind of blows my mind. Not only will we be joined by, if not all, a good majority of the people seen here on this thumbnail, but we have an incredible array of special guests planned who are going to pop in throughout the night, people you know and love from the Schmodown community, etc. It's just going to be a party, a nonstop party, and I hope if you don't kick it with us the whole time, hopefully you'll stop by, and I'm sure it'll get emotional and it'll be fun, and there'll be jokes and alcohol, and it's going to be a blast. Friday, we're doing a watch-along. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, Jill and myself are doing the second episode of our stereo show, Jilly and Max Present. So follow me and or Jill on stereo. Go to our social medias to get the link for that. It'll be at 10 Eastern. We got so many amazing audio clips sent in last time, which really made the show easy and fun for us to do. So please stop by, send in an audio clip. We'll answer or talk about anything you have for us. And then, Saturday, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Sunday's The Unwind. And as I mentioned at the top, Front Center Mezzanine is not happening this week, after all, because our guest has a family emergency. Everything's okay. But PJ and I are scheduled to be seeing an early digital screening of Godzilla vs. Kong on Thursday. So if that goes according to plan, we'll go live around 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern-ish on the channel and give our spoiler-free reaction and review to Godzilla vs. Kong. So that'll be fun, and I'm really looking forward to finally getting to check that out.
Me too.
Chris, where can everyone find you online? Anything else you want to promote? I know you got Twitch stuff coming up.
Oh, totally. Give me 1 second. I'm actually bringing it into the overlay right now. You guys can find me on Twitter.
Thank you, Wingblade. I really appreciate that. Sorry, Chris.
No, it's all good. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at ChrisClog8788. Those numbers mean nothing. On Twitch this Saturday, we are doing Red Cross, more Mario Party stuff with POV, Alex, and Molly, and my friend Uncle Silver, Greg.
I was just going to say, who the fuck is Uncle Silver?
Oh, Uncle Silver is a great dude. He's a Johnny's brother. Some call me Johnny's brother. Johnny's been on the channel.
Oh, cool. Yeah. No, I know. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Me, Johnny, and that crew, we always do the extra life stuff and charity stuff. They're some of my best friends, closest friends. So, and then my other kind of group. So just check that out. It's always fun. And So I regrettably that took the place of family game night this week, but you know what? It's gonna be fun. And Jill and POV are great, and we get to play with Molly and Alex, so it's going to be fun. Donate to Red Cross, so it's going to be cool.
Maybe I'll pop in the Discord and
cool.
commentate with you guys.
You can.
PJ,
it will probably be on Zoom, but I'll give
Oh, that's fine. PJ, should we tease a couple things about the anniversary?
Sure. Why not?
Well,
do you really go into the grocery store?
I do. I like the produce department.
Yeah, there's a really great thing that you can get in the produce department called a baby carrot. What's his face? What the fuck? Yeah, we really like baby carrots around here, so you might see a baby carrot during the stream. There
are these guys, and they like movies, and so sometimes they're called the movie guys.
There's some really cool kids that are normally at parties, but they're late.
Oh yeah, they're late.
Yes.
And I probably shouldn't say this because they're normally so good at deception.
Yes, this is true.
But that might happen. And also, we're gonna unveil our brand new channel-wide PJCN theme song.
Yeah.
That will be
by the great David B.
Of course, by David Biscuits.
I was about to ask, did David B write this?
That will be
countdown with the corgi. That was the last time you saw it.
Yeah, that today would have been the last time you saw the corgi countdown, because going forward, it'll be our PJCN theme song and credits that Chris put together. Yep. So yeah, please join us Wednesday. It's going to be awesome. Buck, what do you got going on? I know you're doing so many great shows like Show Me the Money and the Family Show. Where can people find you, and what do you got to promote?
You can follow me on Twitter here, BrandonBuck88. Also on Instagram under the same user. Obviously, youtube.com/SchmoMeTheMoney. We have our main show, our Schmodown show on Tuesday. Thursdays, we have our family show where it's a look back on the Fast and Furious franchise. This week, we're doing the fourth film in the franchise, Fast and Furious. It's going to be very exciting. We have a Falcon and Winter Soldier discussion show that we do on Saturday mornings. We occasionally do movie review / discussions. The next one we're doing will be for Kong versus Godzilla, so very excited for that.
And look, I am coming back on Schmo Me the Money. You've changed the rules since I've been there, and I'm mad about that.
Yes, we have.
I have unfinished business, and I'm calling her out right now. Amber Coates, who is like my best friend in the world. I love her to death. She beat me by 1 point. I'm not going to let that happen again.
You just tell me what week you want to come on, and we'll make it work.
PJ?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at PJ_Campbell. You can find me here at the Pajukin, where we watch lots of movies and have a good time. And, come hang out on a Wednesday. It's going to be chaos. And you can find me at the Movie Trivia Schmodown. Hey, I'm the head writer there. Be nice to the question writers. We're only human.
Yeah, team question writers.
Dipper agrees. See? I do.
I've said it to you privately. I'll say it publicly. The level of question writing on the Schmodown this season has been impeccably good. The work you guys do is remarkable. The amount of time and effort is mind-blowing, and You deserve nothing but praise for your hard work. So yeah, be nice to the question writers. You guys are killing it. Even though I'm so sorry that right now you have to work with Grace.
Well, she's a great president. I can't say anything else. We love Grace. Grace is fantastic. Grace, thank you for all the things that you're doing for us.
You can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Cinemaxwell. Instagram at Cinemaxwell Inc. Like I said, follow me on Stereo because I'm going live tomorrow at 10 Eastern with Jilly. Send us questions and comments. And you can find me here on the Pajukin. And sometime in the next couple months competing in the First Class League, which I am super excited about. And I intend to fucking wreck shop over there. So on behalf of myself and Chris and PJ and our incredible executive producer, Buck, thank you again for your support and for picking such a dope movie to watch.
Yes.
We love you. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Wear your masks.
Wear your fucking masks.
Get vaccinated when you're eligible. And we will see you Wednesday for our 1-year anniversary stream. Trust me when I tell you, you do not want to miss it.